Temperature, winds gusting up to 35 miles an hour. And we'll see as the afternoon progresses what kind of an effect that will have. Butler. Kicking away from Brown to Redden. Floats down at the 5, and Redden brings it out from there to about the 18. Cliff Thrift down to make the tackle. The offensive backs and receivers for the Los Angeles Rams. Dieter Brock, the quarterback. Eric Dickerson, number 29, behind him. Tony Hunter is the U-back. Henry Ellard and Ron Brown, the wide receivers. Panky Hill, Tony Slayton, Harris Slater, and David Hill is the tight end. Rams 1st and 10 from their own 17. Henry Ellard wide to the right, Brown wide left. Dickerson back to the line of scrimmage and nothing else. Singletary met him right there. Tyrone Keys has replaced William Perry. And Dickerson is hit behind the line of scrimmage by Steve McMichael, and the Rams will have to punt. The Bear offensive setup has McMahon at quarterback, Peyton and Suey, Galt and McKinnon wide. Covert, Bortz, Jay Hilgenberg, Thayer, Van Horn, and Emery Moorhead starts at tight end. Bears have the ball. They'll start 1st and 10, their own 44. They're going into the wind, but it's really hard to say in which direction it blows, because down on the field it really swirls around. McMahon on 1st down throws up the middle. Moorhead inside the Ram 40 to about the 37. Mel Owens tripped him up after a gain of 19. Willie Galt split wide to the right. McKinnon moves in motion. McMahon to work again. To Galt. To about the 16. Gary Green after a gain of 20.
Hey, that's what they did last week. That's what they wanted to do again. Get the ball get it to Willie Galt early, and hope he catches it. Because if he gets a ball early and catches a ball early, then he has great confidence. Watch Reggie Doss, 71, come in here and hit McMahon after he throws the ball. Boy, that'll clear out those sinuses.
Let's check that Ram defensive lineup. Up front, Doug Reed. DeJournay starts, but they alternate at the nose tackle position. Reggie Doss at right end, the linebackers, and this is a good group. Owens, Eckern, Collins, and Wilcher. And the secondary, Green and Irvin, the cornerbacks, and Cromwell and Johnny Johnson, the safety men. Peyton and Gentry are now the 2 running backs. Gentry is dangerous, but he stays in the block. McMahon will take it. And takes it in. Touchdown.
McMahon is a quarterback, and the Rams just found it out. You can't give him a lane to run in. He looks downfield for his receivers, and the next thing he looks for is a lane. Now watch Collins here. In his blitz, he is going to come, and he gives a lane for McMahon. McMahon sees it and runs right up there. Watch Collins, number 50, as he blitzes. You see he goes inside. Now watch, the end goes outside. Now right there, see that big lane? That's all McMahon needs. He sees that lane, then boom, right there, right to the outside and in the end zone. The Rams were conscious of this. They said, we're going to have a guy spying or dogging McMahon all day. At one of the first early plays, they didn't have anyone there. That's McMahon. You don't shake hands as easy. You know, anyone can shake hands. You have to go up there and put some scars on that helmet.
Some
go
dents.
paint to paint, paint to paint.
The Bear defense has become very well known, but just in case you don't know them, Hampton, McMichael, Perry, and Dent start up front. The linebackers, and this also is a very good group. Wilson, Singletary in the middle, and Wilbur Marshall. And the secondary, Richardson and Frazier to corners, and Durson and Finsick the two safety men. Dickerson stands alone behind Dieter Brock. David Hill in motion. Back to Dickerson. Against the grain, and Dickerson gets back to the line of scrimmage and lunges for a yard perhaps.
They think if they just keep it going, keep going at him, keep popping away, that they'll wear down this defense. I don't know about that.
I don't either. Dickerson, as you saw, was very successful last week. Third down. Dewerson showing blitz. They pick it up. Brock throws for Henry Ellard and throws it low. And again, we'll see Dale Hatcher to punt. First down from the 49. And back he goes again. Screen pass set up very well to Payton as he steps out. Payton to the 30. Gary Green finally stopped him, but Payton did that little jig step that's become so familiar and broke out of the pack. All that necessary.
In this situation, Mike Ditka likes to run. McMahon likes to pass.
Third down and 7. McMahon incomplete. Intended for Galt as they shut out the Giants. But he had a great year. Back on track. Wide right. Dickerson standing right up behind Brock so he can hear what's going on, and now he backs away. Here's Eric Dickerson. He did not get the first down. Looked like there could have been. It must have been a fumble.
Well,
David Hill ended up with it.
Yeah, the ball came out of there, and David Hill recovered the fumble for a first down. They had Eric Dickerson stop. Dickerson looked like he left his blockers too soon. Watch the guard and the tackle pull here. Dickerson just goes straight ahead. He leaves both blockers. Now right here he gets hit. The ball comes out, but it comes this way. David Hill catches it and runs it, advances it for a first down.
Their first down.
That's one way to get it.
Brock back to throw. Gets it outside to Tony Hunter. And Hunter hammers up to about the 45 before Leslie Frazier gets him out of bounds. Third and about a foot. Duman is now in front of Dickerson. This is Hunter in motion. We'll give to Dickerson. I don't know. Singletary again.
I don't think he got a first down there, Pat. I don't even think that's one you'd measure. I think that's one if your defense you celebrate.
Might have lost a yard after they finally mark it.
Singletary took as many hits after the play as he did the hit, but watch the hit on the play. He reads it. He takes Dickerson right in the hole. The first thing as a tackler you want to do is stop his momentum and straighten him up. It's no first down.
And that's the end of the first quarter at Soldier Field with the host Chicago Bears leading 10-0.
That time they weren't.
Their whole philosophy is very simple. Second down and about 11. McMahon back to throw. He's under pressure, and here he comes again. McMahon slides about a yard shy of the first down under Carl Eckern.
Fridge can anchor himself in there, but he stays where he puts those feet.
Take a pretty stout breeze to move him around. Here's McMahon. McKinnon at the Ram 44. Gary Green stopped him. 7 out of 10. McMahon is down by Reggie Doss. First sack, and McMahon scrambles to his feet angrily.
He wants to get in a fight. You can't do that. The quarterback, you can't fight. He's going to get rid of the ball. That's what John said. He's not going to be holding that thing.
Outside to Hunter. He can't find a handle. And it'll bring up a fourth down. It's incomplete. Finsick was with him. Listen to the applause for the Bear defense. Hatcher back to kick. It's a Honey. Ortego lets it bounce in front of him. It hits a Bear. It hit a Bear, and the Rams recovered it. Rams have the ball. Much to the delight. The crowd is extremely loud. Hunter was the man in motion. The handoff is to Dickerson. He's down to about the 17. Fensick up to make the stop.
Rams are probably going to try and get a first down before they take their next time out, but they better hurry up.
Using a lot of valuable seconds. Here's Dickerson. Dickerson hammers down to about the 12, a yard short of a first down before William Perry and Singletary stop him.
I think they're going to try and get another first down and huddle up before they have to take a timeout, but they don't have that much time. He's going to have to throw the ball out of bounds now.
And in a hurry.
I'm surprised they even got in a huddle.
I have too. Down to 10 seconds. 3rd and 1. Brock back to throw. Got a man in the middle. It's Dickerson. He's inside the 5 to about the 4. And the clock just ran out.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that they had a timeout. I can't believe that they went with a huddle.
Now they're saying they have a second remaining.
Well, there was 1 second. Now, you remember, anyone can call timeout now. So it's going to be who called timeout and what official heard it.
And the discussion, there's Buddy Ryan, the Bears defensive coordinator, out arguing, talking to Burl Toller. And the Bears won the argument. I don't understand that whole picture. And the Rams lost a golden opportunity to get something on the scoreboard.
So LA's playing LA.
Redden and Dickerson. This is Eric Dickerson. He breaks 1 or 2 tackles. Ball's on the ground. And Richardson, who was just called, gets the fumble recovery. That's the second one for Dickerson. They have their pass rush group in there. The Bears have Marjoram in now as a wide receiver, and McKinnon is out. That's Gentry in motion. McMahon with a blitz coming, completes it to Galt, and that'll be enough for a Bear first down. 3rd and 13.
And his coach, Mike Ditka, enjoys talking about it.
Marjoram in motion. Handoff. Up the middle is Suey. Gentry, I beg your pardon. Suey was out here in the playoffs. Tell me a little bit about his thinking here.
Well, I know what he's thinking. You know, if you punt the ball and it goes into the end zone, they get it on the 20, you only picked up 15 yards. The field goal is 52 yards with a funny wind. You may as well take a shot at it. Your defense is playing well.
They need 6 at least. They put Peyton in motion. McMahon on a sprint out, and he can do it. They got Peyton, and they got the first down. The gamble paid off. McMahon again sprints out and throws for Galt, touchdown. What a great throw from McMahon. Post corner. He starts into the post, then he goes back out to the corner as McMahon rolls. McMahon rolls left as the blockers. What a shot he put in there to Willie Galt. And running to his left and throwing on the left to his right. This week they got another, he couldn't do it, so he wore it again. He just changed what was on the front of it. Here's Dieter Brock with time. Pass is picked off by Leslie Frazier. Frazier with the interception, intended for Ellard.
No, not with Michael.
It's 3rd down. McMahon operates out of the spread. Chased by Jeter. Pass is incomplete. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. No flag. That's just the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Bears 17, the Rams nothing. That's a friend of yours, John.
There's Bill Murray. I remember when that hat that he's wearing, I have no idea where he got it, but I think that's an old football helmet. That's the way they used to wear it. Remember, they were like leather helmets, and then they would roll them up and put them in their back pockets when they weren't playing.
2nd and 7 it is. This is Hunter moving and Brock back to throw. They get it outside to Hunter, and nobody's even close. Tony Hunter out to about the 47. Duerson tripped him up after a gain of 15. On 1st down, they pitch back to Dickerson. Dickerson tries to find some room, and there's just nothing there. Otis Wilson chased him out of bounds. They have kept Eric Dickerson, the great Eric Dickerson, under control.
Well, you know, the last 2 times they played, or both times, Eric Dickerson gained over 100 yards on this team. Of course, you know what he did last week, that 248. That's a full day's work. And that's what the Rams had planned to do today.
Somehow I can't imagine it would be little. Brown in motion. Brock under pressure. Gets away from a couple, but not all. Perry finally gets there. 2nd sack of Dieter Brock. Even in a great year last year, the 49ers, no team has ever recorded back-to-back shutouts in playoff history. That's some accomplishment. And again,
you know, Buddy calls his players like Wilson's, 55 and 50 and so on, and he just tells them, this 22, you do this. He said he started doing that. So when he first came to the Bears, he didn't know the player. He had a 5th defensive back named Walter Shine,
right,
who he would put in, on the nickel. And he said he forgot his name. He was calling him Bashnagel. He said he'd get 3rd line and say, Bashnagel, Bashnagel. The Bashnagel, he was a receiver.
He was a wide receiver, right. Here's Brock on 3rd down. Chased by Dent and down. And the ball is loose, and the Bears have it. This is Wilbur Marshall with the ball. Marshall, if it's still alive, he's in the end zone. A sack by Dent, and a touchdown by Marshall.
Richard Dent, he was standing up. You see him, and Tony Hunter just couldn't get out. He wasn't quick enough. He got his hands on him. Dent comes in, grabs Dieter Brock, just strips the ball right out of there. Watch him. He's outside in a stand-up position. See Hunter, 87, tries to turn out, and then Pankey tries to get out. They can't. He just strips and turns him. The ball comes flying out. Wilbur Marshall picks it up and finishes it off.
Mike Ditka. Clock still running with 30 seconds on the clock. Nobody has left. I mean, the place is still absolutely full.
Well, they've been waiting too long for this to leave. I mean, you don't wait all those years, all this time, and then finally get it and then leave early. They're going to stay. I bet you the players won't even want to leave the field.
That's going to be it. Whoever they play is going to have their hands full. 24-0, the Bears. Now let's go to Brent Busberger.